Um, so I guess I just want to give. I, I I guess I just want to review the film that I just watched, which is called Civil War, which is an Alex Garland film. Um, Mainly because I guess I'm not doing much with my time right now apart from occasional exercise, eat, and sketches. Uh, Planning on sort of making some music later on, I guess. Going for walks. So I figured, like, if I'm gonna watch a film like that as a fan of Alex Garland, like, I guess, and thinking of myself as a consumer of what do they, what do you call it? Like, this is my ADHD brain not working. Like as a consumer of content, I guess, and a fan of like I read The Beach. I would have been, I would say 19 because it was just after I moved out of my first house and I moved back in with my mum and dad for like 3 months or something before I moved into my next house. My next house, I had my 19th birthday in. So, um, and like, so about 17 years ago, 16 years ago, I read The Beach and it opened my eyes. I really love the ending. It is, I can understand why, because I like the film. This isn't a review of The Beach. I haven't watched it for too long, or read it for too long, so it would be unfair to review it, but just an explanation of other Alex Garland films and why I watched Civil War in the first place was, yeah, just a fan of his work. I can understand as the ending of the book, The Beach, being what it is. I get why people didn't like. I get why people didn't like the film. Based on just mainly what the ending was, I guess, because I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio did a bad job. Even with at that point that he wasn't the most like people always think he was this heartthrob because he was in Titanic, but like actually he'd been in the Basketball Diaries and he'd been in a couple of dark films. He was also strangely in like Critters 3 or something, I think, or like it was a Critters film where he was in space. Just a weird fact that I think I'm right on, that I might be wrong on, but I'm pretty sure he was in like a Space Critters film. I guess like I just thought I would review that film. It's quite. It was a decent film in terms of I think that that could truly be the way that uh, that America and England go. I just want to show you what Cat's doing right now. Just he's just cuddled up on the table next to the keyboard. I don't know what he's been really. Him and the girl are being like really lovey at the minute. I don't know why they're like following me around so much. But yeah, so like Civil War, I think that like it could go this way, and I think that that's what forms of media like this are good at. Is I think that forms of media like that are really good at depicting the way that it could go. I think, as always, the guy that played Jesse in, I think his name is something Clemens, the guy who played Todd, sorry, not Jesse, the guy that played Todd in Breaking Bad was sick, and making his part longer would have made like his character couldn't have been in the film for longer. But he's a really good actor in nearly everything that I've seen because you just want to hate him. And in Fargo, you really wanted to like him. You were rooting for him in Fargo, and I guess that's a sign of a good actor because he always plays a really similar role. Um, but like he can play like ditzy guy who is an absolute psychopath, like a serial killer, like who murders fucking 10-year-old kids like it's nothing. and he can also play extremely ditzy, like being led around on a leash by his wife, you know, which is and when somebody can evoke a response like utter hatred or like rooting for them, that's a really good sign. That's a sign of a really good actor. And I think, no disrespect to the guy, but like I think it's definitely like a sign that you do not have to be like a heartthrob. You do not have to be like stereotypically good looking to not necessarily make it, but to be a really like standout actor in Hollywood or Hollywoods or whatever you want to call it. Um, because yeah, like big fan. Parts I didn't like, unfortunately, I really hate being critical of anything, but like you know, I think Kirsten Dunst and the young girl, I don't and the guy and the like basically the main three characters, I don't think were great. I like the old fat dude was all right. He played the same guy that he plays in every film. I got like that character, you know, I got why that character was there. The old woman, Ellie or Lee or whatever she was called, and the younger girl, I thought that's such a like for me it was such a cringy stereotype of anyone that is on the left. Like for me, I think that what needs to happen is like because you have this depiction from conservatives of liberals, and it's either that they're soft as fuck or it's either that they're soft as fuck or they're like Satan worshippers, right? Like they either have to be it seems to be one or the other, that they're either evil and they want to let in you know, like fucking they want to bring about the destruction of the earth, or they're extremely soft. It seems to be like these counter, completely opposite sort of opposing ideologies, opposing opinions. Better for is probably a better describing word. I'm not good with English, but like I don't know whether it's a noun, verb, or whatever. But like yeah, so I think that Kirsten Dunst and the younger girl that she was bringing through. Also, I knew what the ending of the film was going to be upon the introduction of that younger girl. I just went, and it was literally the last couple of minutes. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Through history, we know what the end of shit is. We know that people are going to die. We know that people are going to live. We know that people are going to be born. You know, we know that people are going to get ill. We know the endings to you. If you see the start of a film, you can usually judge the ending by knowing by judging the ups and downs of it. Right? Fucking hell, it's 26 degrees. I should probably get outside instead of doing this. Um, but like, yeah, I'd say that like it's a weird thing with because it's almost like I feel like they're afraid to show the real side of women, because I think that a lot of men are too naive to know what women are actually like. And I feel like because men will accept that if I tell you a police officer beat someone half to death, you just believe me. If I told you a woman was pretending to be something that she wasn't, to use sex as a weapon to extract information from someone, to burn them in, to wind them up, to elicit a response, to attempt to burn them on social media, you may be less inclined to believe that. And I think that what happens with this was like you had this sort of like falsely weathered woman. And like, and I don't know, with a lot of the shit, I think like, is it because Kirsten Dunst is a good actress, so I thought like, is she purposely portraying somebody that's really cringy, or is she really cringily portraying this character? Because there's a film called I think it was Lars von Trier. Maybe there was a film about the end of the world where that Kirsten Dunst was in, and it was either Lars von Trier or like one of those sort of directors. She's really good in that. There's like so I don't know if this was like I don't know if this was like a super burn where she was saying if you're a journalist because let's be honest, journalists for the most part are pieces of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like you go read like nowadays. Journalists say that they accurately depict what's going on, but they also say that they have to depict God's word, right? That it's illegal. It's near enough illegal. It's against their creed in the US to go against God's word, which you think like, well, if you don't believe in God and you're just a human being that's trying to enjoy your life, then you're more than likely going against God's word. And you look at like how the media is used in order to attack people, paint people as terrorists that are just trying to have a decent life. You know, like you, and you think, well, I don't think that I trust the media. I don't trust the media. You know. So it was a little bit of a weird one where I thought, well, maybe they are trying to depict that like it's all so false, you know, like to be so weather worn from a profession that you know is false. Like journalists are for the most part, are just lying about what's going on, you know? You look at like when you depict another country as terrorists and everything, without looking at our own. Yeah, like all this stuff about Trump, when people seem to be saying anything about Trump getting assassinated or making a joke of it, people are seem to be burned. I don't know if I'm following too much right wing shit, but they are going hard at anybody that's saying Trump's like I don't know, making some sort of like South Park esque joke about it. People seem to be getting burned. Tenacious D breaking up. Do you know what I mean? Like that shit's crazy. I'm pretty sure Tenacious D were making outlandish jokes and shit, you know. So it seems like back in the day. So it seems mad to think that they would break up over him saying something about about they shouldn't have missed or they should have missed or I can't remember what the fuck he said. But and I think that this is edging towards getting a far right president in who's going to preside over a war and then who's going to stay presiding over the country because he's already in Russia's pocket. It's my personal opinion, but I'm not American, so maybe you guys will be able to say more about that. But personally, I think that that's what's happening. But like, you know, whatever. It's not really about I guess it is about the film because at the end of the film they storm the White House and shoot the president in the head. So, oh shit, that's just giving away the end of the film. I guess I should put spoilers or something. Um, but yeah, no, like that was my problem for me was that I think that they had an opportunity there to make two strong female characters, you know, and I think what they did was make two stereotypes that seem like, do you know what I mean? It seemed like they depicted the guy as somebody that that would be happy, that would be sad, but that would like bounce back really quickly, and was still able to have humor. Yet the woman was like cold and miserable and weather worn, and you think like, why is what and then it's like the whole thing with trying on the dress and shit and like oh you look really pretty when you smile and I thought yeah obviously like psychologically women want to appear attractive and they want to have compliments because their biological role is to attract a mate, so obviously like you know you're playing up to things that are playing up to a biology psychology aspect of humanity, but like and also women being caregivers and whatever, you know. So you think maybe it's maybe they're easier to maybe sometimes they do just have to go numb because they see the life that they've created die, I guess. Whereas men maybe don't think like that as much, so they can be subject to having all of their friends murdered and just crack on that I don't want that. I don't really care if you do see that sexist, but I guess what I'm saying is that I think there are lots of women these days that don't assign themselves to those roles. So, like, what I'm saying is that I think that which is strange for Alex Garland. I don't think he usually does that. You know, like the film Men, which seemingly was trying to paint everybody as equal and was trying to paint men just as badly as women. What I took from it. I don't know. I wouldn't want to interpret somebody's work incorrectly, but what I took from it was that he was saying everyone's a piece of shit. You know, they're just different types of pieces of shit. Um, and in this, what I'm hope because what I'm hoping is that maybe he was trying to make it cringy. Overall, it was a decent film that I would rewatch with someone. You know, that I would show to people. That I would say it's worth watching just because I think that he's a great author and director. But um, I just felt that those two characters could have like you. I just feel like it's really played out to show like a decent side of women these days because there are women that really don't have a decent side, you know. So I just feel like I guess I just feel like that is quite played out. Um, and like not necessarily it's if anything it's unfair on men, you know, like I'm saying that it's unfair. I'm sort of like I think it's unfair on women because if I was a woman that was capable of metaphorical murder, or I was a cold person and I could be extremely strong in business or whatever, then I would be upset at being reduced to, oh, would you like to try on this dress and it will make you smile? You know, I think if I because I would be annoyed at like male stereotypes that didn't fit me as a human being. That's how I'm relating to that, I guess. Um, but I also think it's unfair to men to sort of say even women at the highest level should be reduced to should be reduced to sort of these extremely like stereotypical views of women and for me all that does is it also allows it's like it enforces the whole like side of male culture that thinks, oh, I want to be extremely nice to all women when like if you wouldn't be nice to all men you shouldn't be nice to all women, you know. You are just judging like I mean, a woman is just basically a dude with two assholes instead of a penis and an asshole, you know, and two like little milk duds. So yeah, but apart from that, it was an enjoyable watch. Like I said, I'll rewatch it. But I think that maybe the numbers of like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 are probably about right. I would probably give it a 6 because I don't think I would rewatch it unless somebody wanted to watch it. You know, if I was with somebody that said, "Oh, I like Alex Garland and I haven't seen that," or just, "Oh, I haven't seen that and I saw adverts for it," I would definitely rewatch it with them. And again, I thought what it did was depict really well how people would have the treatment of people that they said were looters that didn't seem to be looters. Um, I think that that's bang on. I think that that's in line with a lot of like depictions of what the future could hold for people. I think that it being reduced to like basically stupidity and is that it's us versus them is so relevant in how the heat of politics seems to be, how the political climate seems to be now, you know. So yeah, all in all, like I thought it was decent. Um I thought it was decent, but yeah, fuck, complete brain blank. I thought it was decent, but just that held me back. And because I guess that there were two of the main characters, you know, I thought like everything from down to like what they were wearing, Dr. Martens and shit. Like a lot of what that does is it paints people in colors. Do you know what I mean? What if people don't want to be put in boxes? What if people are like slightly Republican, slightly liberal? What like, why does it have to be the like? That's the. It annoys me that for me to like do sketches in black and white, that people are going to say that it's to do with police and church because it's not. You know, or if I wear just all, if I'm wearing all black, that's because I want to not advertise any brands because I think that you only get money if you're a piece of shit. It's got nothing to do with trying to represent some sort of like gang colours that go back a couple of thousand years, you know? And what's frustrating is that, that's almost like hindering my work in what I'm trying to do because I guess what I'm trying to do with like my sketches and stuff, I'm trying to depict this overuse of gang colours. So I guess in essence, like I am doing what I'm attempting to do what those journalists are doing through just like fun little frivolous sketches. Do you know what I mean? Um, I'm just trying to like, because I'm not trying to insult these people. I think that those people would take it as an insult. I think that people would find it insulting. But I'm not trying to insult. I'm just saying like, this is what it is. You know, this is quite clearly what it is. This is quite clearly what's going on in life. And I guess that maybe that's more of a journalist, I guess artist, whatever. I don't know. I'm just sketching because I'm bored. But yeah, I guess I didn't really invest a lot of time in any of the other characters, but again, good because it could, but good because I think it could happen really soon. Um, Bad because some of the characters are cringy, and I think that it's frustrating to keep painting liberals as cringy, soft people or evil Satan worshippers.